Hey guys, it's John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur here, coming at you tonight. Great to be with you on our second episode of the week. Welcome to my new people that are here, and if you are new, you'll notice that just at the right there's a QR code. Take your phone, scan that QR code. It will bring you over to my link tree. That's linktr.ee/, some other great stuff. But incidentally, you can get there by scanning my QR code right here or just going to Believe, Believe, the word me, M-E, achieve, ACHIEVE.com. Every day we have a new subtopic based on the master topic of the week, and we have a brand new topic. And if you are coming back, well, welcome back, my friends, colleagues, and associates. It's so wonderful to have you here. And hopefully some of my new people joining us will become just like a lot of you that have been here for quite a while. So our topic is how to say thank you. We're on episode 2, in case you're wondering. All right. So one way is to express appreciation, right? Recognize somebody for their hard work. That's a good way. Another way is actually to spend time with them. That's a great way to say thank you, is to spend time. Another good way is to share a meal. Another way, believe it or not, is to make a sacrifice, a self-sacrifice. And by doing that, that's another way of showing people thank you. Now, when we think about the word thank you, a lot of people I know will say, John, well, what am I going to get? If you're already trying to figure out what you're going to get, then this isn't for you. Giving thanks, expressing thanks is something you should want to do, not something you have to do. When you express thanks for something, it doesn't mean you're going to get something right away or at all. Giving thanks is something you want to do because you feel good about giving thanks. Saying thank you. Saying thank you actually makes us feel better as a person. Makes the other person feel great too. And when we transfer that energy to them, it reverberates back to us and we feel that energy again. So thank you. When you hear the word thank you, what goes through your mind? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Pretty neat, right? But what does thank you do for someone? Well, thank you is a way of really telling the person that what you did mattered. Okay. Sometimes you can give the person a present, you can give them flowers or give them chocolates or a simple gift from going away on a vacation if you went somewhere. Think about that for a minute. When you say thank you, the person doesn't have to return that favor. And don't expect it, because that's going to short circuit the whole concept of thank you. If they do, that's great, but don't expect it. Maybe you're at a store, okay? And this has happened before. I've been at a supermarket, large supermarket, and I have just a few items in my hand. And there's a person in front of me that has a ton of things, and I'm just waiting, holding it in my hand. And like, oh, you just have that? Oh, sure, you can go ahead of me. But like, oh, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. And I think it's a great thing when that happens. Hey there, Kenny. It's great to see you tonight. Saying, savoring the flavor of the awesomeness in you, sir, for sharing your delectable, scrumptiously, deliciously, edibly tasty, good, heartfelt nuggets of wisdom with us tonight. It is always my pleasure, and a big thank you to you, Kenny. So we're talking about thank you in these first couple days. The fact that when somebody says thank you, They shouldn't expect anything. If you have no expectations when you say thank you can let it roll a lot easier. If you say thank you, like, well, I have to get a thank you back. And if you don't, it's like you become this monster until you get thank you. No, that's not what it's about, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you is something we do because we want to do it, not because we're told to do it, right? We can say thank you by cooking our friend or partner a great meal. You can plan a nice getaway day, maybe a trip. Another thing you can do to express thanks, people can say, I really appreciate it, but I like it when you can do things that are not words, right? You can hug, you can shake hands, you can express things with facial gestures. I was recently talking with a veteran not too long ago, and he said that I don't particularly like the attention that people call to me by my veteran status, even though acquiring the PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, and his back problems. He has mixed feelings, not because of shame, but because of how broken he became as a result of this. But if you say thank you for your service, he promises not to act as if he had Tourette's syndrome or something like that. So I think just a gentle initial gesture of thank you is fine. Some people will say thank you by referring you to someone else. Exactly, Kenny. No strings attached. You're doing thank you because you actually like to say thank you. You like how it feels. And you're not expecting anything. So the question I have for everybody tonight is, how do you say thank you to somebody if it's the first time you've ever been with them? And how do you say thank you if they've been a best friend? Well, thank you to somebody you just met might be a little more nonchalant, like, oh, thanks, that was great. But be sincere about it. If it's somebody you really know, hey, Bob, hey, Joe, thanks so much. Listen, I know you're probably doing something this week. I bought you your favorite 6-pack of beer. And that's a neat thing to do, not because you're expecting anything back, but because you did something the person didn't expect and something that they actually like and enjoy. A token means that it's nothing. It was just something I thought of. And remember, you shouldn't put a lot of weight into what they gave you, but just the fact that it was a thought. That we say it's a token, it's like nothing. If someone says thank you for the gift, well, how should you respond back? Really simply, you're welcome. And I'm happy you like it, or I'm glad you liked it. How about if somebody says to you, they say thank you to you, but they don't mean it very formally. It's like really casual. What some people will do is not say the word thank you. They'll say something like, well, I'm sure you would have done the same for me. Like if they maybe helped you out or they held the door or they did something nice or they say, hey, John, you're about to get towed. I put an extra dollar in the meter for you. Oh, gee. That was really nice of you. I'm sure you would have done the same for me, is maybe how they respond. And you say thank you. So I think that's a little bit different. Is it possible to thank someone without doing it in writing? Well, we said yes. The art of communication through nonverbal speech is actually more powerful than verbal speech. Sometimes when people say thank you, it sounds like something like, from a movie. And a lot of times the emotions and feelings are too overwhelming when it's just meant to be a casual thank you. A casual thank you. But how do you say thank you to someone who tried, but they weren't able to help you? When they do this, you have to realize one thing. Even though they didn't help you, they had a genuine interest and intention to help you. So somebody's trying to help you with, I don't know, your car or whatever it is, and they couldn't get it started or whatever. Come back and say, thanks. Well, I didn't do anything. I know, but you took the time to try to start my car, and I appreciate that. One thing you might do when your car's better, you might go back and maybe you get them a gift card at the local um, uh, restaurant or something. Maybe like a 50 or $20 gift card. And that might not seem like a lot. Another group of people that I think often don't hear thank you enough is your UPS, your FedEx, and your carriers. Now, not so much Amazon because they're always very transient. You never get the same one back again. But just giving them a $20 or $50 bill because they go that extra mile for you, I think that's amazing. I know in all my years that I've had UPS and FedEx drivers, I've always tipped them well, not expecting anything, but they always seem to go overboard for me. Exactly, Kenny. Yes, it's nice to say thank you for the effort. It's appreciated. I like to do it with that, but then a lot of times I say thank you is really, and if they say it was nothing, I like to give them something. Maybe it's a gift card, or it could be 2 movie tickets to the local movie theater. Something like that means something, because when you don't just put money on something, when you have to take an extra step to get a gift card, to get something, you had to take time out of your life to do that. And that says, hey, your life's important to me, and I really did mean it. If you just say, oh, thanks anyway, it doesn't have the same meaning. So the lesson here is when you put time or take time out of your life to do something for someone else after the fact, that's a great thing. How do you say there's no need for thanks? Rather than saying thank you, you may say something like, I appreciate it. Very nice of you. And it's not as strong as thank you, but it lets the person know that you appreciated them for taking that extra step out of their way. Can you thank somebody too much? Yes. You want to be polite, you want to be humble, but just don't, throw the whole kitchen sink in there. When it gets too mushy, then the person's going to feel awkward and may not want to help you again because you made such a big deal of it. Maybe someone in your business finally gets back to you. How do you say thank you to them, but in a professional way, quote unquote? Thank you for getting back to me. But then some people might read that and say, well, you weren't expecting a response from me? Maybe something more like, thanks for getting back to me so quickly, or thanks for returning the call so quickly, or thanks for returning the email so quickly. That's fine. That implies that they were going to get back to you, but you were just happy that they took the time to get back to you in a shorter fashion. Yes. So we were saying that over thanking somebody can be almost intimidating to some people, because then it feels like you're expecting something from them and that they're on the hook. And you don't ever want to do that to someone. When somebody thanks you or does something for you, you don't want to make it seem like it was like the be all end all. Okay, they didn't save your life. What if somebody says cheers instead of thank you? Cheers is a way in Canada a lot when you're talking with somebody that did something. Oh, cheers. Cheers can be a close to a sentence, a close to a meeting, but cheers is just a friendly way of acknowledging what you did. It can mean a lot of things. But the best thing you can do when you hear the words thank you, just very genuinely, you're welcome, and smile. Don't get into a whole long thing like, oh, you're welcome. I wanted to help you. I always enjoy. Don't get into all that. Yes, of course. They'll feel obligated. They'll feel awkward. And they're going to want to avoid you when all they did was something nice. And now you're blowing it out of proportion. So when somebody does something nice for you, just make it a token. If somebody does something really nice for you, all right, so you want to make it a little more than a token? Thanks, I really appreciate it. That's it, and let it drop. If the person really went out of their way, like maybe somebody picked up your mail while you were on vacation, even though they asked to do it, then maybe you bring them back. Hey, Jim, I thank you so much for doing that. I just brought you a little token back from St. Thomas. And even though it might have not cost a lot of money, the fact that you took a few extra minutes out of your trip to get them something, it's going to mean something. And I think the person will appreciate it. But when thank yous become laced with all kinds of other emotions, then that thank you is not really genuine. That thank you is harboring another favor that they're going to be looking for from you. So keep your thank yous very light, very airy. And if somebody comes back to you and says thank you, oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. That's it. Let it drop. They're going to want to do something else for you. You're going to want to do something else. And it's not so tied. Because somebody that's so tied to everything is be like, oh, I don't want to help that guy. I don't want to help that lady again. It was like a 30-minute conversation. He was thanking me for 30 minutes. And that could be a big, big problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got lots more to talk about this week on how to say thank you. This is only episode 2. I thank you for popping in tonight. Be sure to like, love, support my channel. Comment below. How do you say thank you? Or how do others say thank you to you? And then tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share it out with everyone you know on social media. And then be sure to go to my YouTube channel, John Space E Space MRLEY Space Serial Entrepreneur, and look for the key phrase, help keep our content free. And below that, make the choice to buy my team and I a cup of coffee. We'll be so grateful with those pennies and dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities and staff to give you the most jaw-dropping, motivational content, unbelievably available to get you the inspiration to get off your butt and take charge of your life. And also knowing when to just back off a little bit. I am John C. Morley, Serial Entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, it's been an honor. And I will see you guys tomorrow, which will be Monday night, first day of the work week. And that will be May 16th. Look forward to catching you then. And I hope that you enjoy this little rendition that we're doing when we're talking about how to say thank you. I'll catch you tomorrow night, everyone. Take care.